Hey guys, it's Chris here with the Bad Wi-Fi and Friends podcast. Wanted to go over today what we use to do the podcast because we've been getting a couple of questions, and I figured we'd answer those questions just because, you know, we're those type of people. If you guys haven't watched already, we do have the Masking with Manny episodes up on the channel. I believe we're on season 1, episode 2 so far. We'll probably be filming episode 3 this week after the Super Bowl, so be on the lookout for that. But anyways, let's get to it. So what do we record the podcast with? It's pretty simple. We don't use anything fancy anymore. I was using a Focusrite Sapphire Pro 40, but I felt it was overkill. So I'm going to show you guys what we use now, which is a lot more user-friendly. It's a lot smaller. We can take it wherever we need to, and it actually doubles. I can use it on the Sony. I can use it really wherever we want. But first things first, how do we carry these things? Usually in a bag, but also we use these because they fit everything nice and perfectly. They're great. They're zippered. They actually make some that were the Kelly Slater version that are waterproof. So if you guys are around water a lot or you're just paranoid, check those out. I think they're like the same price as these. They're like 17 bucks. When we do mobile episodes and we're out places, I use the Dead Cat on top of the Zoom, just because it blocks all of the wind noise and stuff. I have a microphone adapter. It uses the standard thread. I think it's a 1/4 inch, whatever it is. But you put it into the mic stand, and yeah, so it'll double as a microphone on a mic stand. If I want to record like to the camera, pretty cool adapter. This works with the H4n as well. One end goes to your camera, one end goes into the Zoom, and then this end is actually a headphone jack. So if your camera doesn't have a headphone jack, this is a really good investment. To power it when we're here doing the show at my house, standard USB cable. It's one of those weird ones. You'll see it in the B-roll, but I forget what type it is. I think it's USB-B or something. Plug it into a wall power. You don't need their outlet. You can just, I use an iPad wall adapter, wall plug, and it works great. Something I was using when my camera didn't have an audio input was this. So on one side you put your camera, on one side you put the Zoom. And I was using this more for the H4n back when I was using it. But now to the Mac Daddy of the podcast and what we use to record. This is the Zoom H6. It's got 2 XLR inputs there. It's got the headphone jack up here. It's got your volume buttons. This is the SD card that it should be covered, but you know, things happen. These are multi-ports right here, so you can kind of plug in a variety of things, XLRs, 1/4 inch. Yeah, it's really great. And then on the other side, same thing, you have 2 more XLR multis, you have the scroller, you have the menu, and then this is where you plug in the USB power. On the bottom you have a line out function, and then you have like these 2 lanyard posts, but we don't really use those. And then up top you have the XLR or the XY pattern microphones. This is great, and then it has all the knobs up here, so you can adjust the audio settings. And then same thing up here, you have all of these little knobs. You can choose what tracks you're recording to. It starts with left, right here, and then you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. You have your stop, fast or play and rewind. You have record right here, and then you have the fast forward and reverse. When you power it on, let me do that real quick. Where's the button? Did I lose the button? Oh no, it's right there. So when you power it on, it's 600 recorder, and yeah, I mean, it has phantom power, so if you want to power anything that takes 48 volts, you can do that. I think the other voltage on here is 24. It's got built-in compressor, it's got built-in limiter. Let me go through the functions for you. So it's got a low cut, it's got a compressor, it's got a limiter, it's got a raw monitor, it has phantom, it's got plug-in power, monitor mixer. It's got a VU meter, which is these right here. Right there. So yeah, it has little voltage meters right there. What else does this thing have? It runs on AA's, which is like amazing. It's got a line out level, so that was the one that I showed you on the bottom. Next to it's the remote. I don't have the remote. I don't think we need the remote. What else does it have? You can pre-record, you can auto-record, you can change the format of the recording, you can do backup recording, so it'll actually give you 2 tracks. One is a backup in case, you know, something happens, like when I was in DC and I lost the footage to one of the interviews because the memory card just failed. That sucked. What else? It has a sound marker. You can go to A/B repeat. It's got the different play modes. It'll actually let you do like a voice memo. It gives you a mixer, playback speed. What else? It's got a tuner, it's got a metronome, you can set the date and the time, the backlight, the battery, software versions, and then of course you can factory reset it, so if you're gonna sell it or get rid of it, you can do that. It does have the pad up here, so you can change it to be a separate input. But yeah, I mean, it's a little beat up and it's a little dirty, but overall I love this thing. And then up here, of course, you have, you know, the 10-pin connector. If you had an H4n before this, it had a 1/4-inch adapter up here, so you can plug in mics to it. I've used my Rode video mic on here, like when we go out and it's windy and I forget the dead cat. Well, my video mic has the dead cat on it, so I'll just plug it in and I'll set it on the stand, or I'll set it on my camera, and then we'll record from there. But honestly, this is one of my favorite little tools that we use, and we use it all the time. We do once in a while record on an iPhone, like when we did the Insomnia episode, that was on my iPhone. And actually right now what I've been using to record, or what I just got, actually haven't been using it to record yet, is the Zoom F1. And if you guys want, I'll do an update video on this once I've been using it a lot, but it's pretty cool. It's got your microphone input, it's got a headphone jack. It runs on AAA's that go, oh, this is the SD card slot, and then this is your selector or your hold button, and then up here you have your volume knobs. You can actually run it off of a micro USB, and then of course you have your AA power if you want to do that. Pretty cool though, guys. Like this is great. This is a pretty cool tool. And then up top it also has the 10-pin connectors, so you can connect anything that you need to that. But anyways, guys, that's it for today. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like this video, share it with your friends and family. Hit that notification button if you want to catch the uploads that we do. I've also been uploading the podcasts. They go straight to YouTube anyways, but I've been trying to keep them on a playlist. So if you can't find it on the Google Play the Android Google Play Music Store, you can find it on YouTube. I know it's a little tough to find it on the Google Play Store. We don't know why, it's weird. If you're on iTunes, it's obviously in the podcast app. Just search Bad Wi-Fi and Friends. I'll leave a link down below so you guys can check it out. If you guys want to see anything else that we use, the microphones, for instance, like they're all MXLs, they're a different variety, and I also use an SM58, pretty standard vocal mic, nothing too crazy. And I mean, the XLR cables are off of Amazon or maybe Sweetwater, like one of those packs. But yeah, check out the podcast, guys. We appreciate you guys when you like us and when you share it with us, especially, or when you share it with your family on Facebook or wherever it may be. Rate us if you haven't already, and of course subscribe to the YouTube channel, because we couldn't do any of this without your all support. I don't really know where YouTube's going, and it's kind of been pissing a lot of people off, so maybe we'll talk about that later. But as far as I'm concerned, nothing's really changed on my end. But yeah,